What is up, my butter biscuits? Y'all, I look a little bit busted within this video. I apologize. Actually, I'm gonna look busted probably in the next like 4 videos because I'm pre-filming, because I'm gonna be going to Phoenix for about 5 days. So I'm gonna be gone for a hot minute, and y'all, I procrastinate as usual. So I did not have time to throw on any makeup today. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be looking a little bit busted. I do apologize for that. As you guys can tell by the title of today's video, we're going to be talking about the new NYX Avatar 2 collection, which, y'all, I have to say, I know a lot of people talk trash about Avatar, but like, it's literally one of my favorite movies. Like, honestly, I want to say I saw it 5 times in theater. I had to see it like regular, and then I saw it 3D, and then I saw it IMAX, and then I saw it IMAX 3D, so maybe I saw it 4 times. But y'all, it was just like, oh my gosh, I loved it. I just don't understand why it took like 13 years or 12 years, however many years, to make the second one, but I really am excited for it. And I know I always see a lot of people online just talking trash about it, and I'm like, why? I don't know why. For some reason, I just really like it. But I do obviously have some thoughts and opinions about this NYX collection, y'all. And let me just say right off the bat, the palette is a little bit expensive. I'm like, NYX is supposed to be an affordable brand. Why is the palette $40? But we're going to be talking about all the products within today's video. So if you guys are interested, of course, go ahead and keep on watching. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys click the link down below to head over to my second channel. I would really appreciate the subscribe over there. Make sure you guys give the videos a big thumbs up over there as well too. I would really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and get into this. So let's go ahead and start off with these luminescent lip glosses right here. I do want to say, y'all, I feel like they're actually really pretty. They retail for $9, and you guys can see these swatches right here of them from Trend Mood. I was like, oh my gosh, I actually think they are really beautiful, especially the shade right here. I'm probably saying it wrong, but Biolume Glow. For some reason, that one's like really calling my name. I think it is just absolutely gorgeous. The shade Shimmering Waters is beautiful too. Honestly, all 3 of the shades are really beautiful. I just really do like them all. That green shade, I do feel like it is very, very daring. I know you can look at the purple one and think like, oh my gosh, that looks like really intense as well too, but I feel like with the purple lip gloss, you could really make it work. A lot of people, when I was working at MAC, I think it was the Rihanna 2, Viva Glam, the lip gloss, y'all, the one that had like the purple specks in it. People are like, I know, I don't know about wearing that, but I was like, hold on, let me put it on your lip. And then they're like, oh my gosh, it's absolutely gorgeous. That's why I feel about the purple one, but the green one, I feel like that one is obviously a little bit more intense, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And when you wear it by itself, obviously it can be toned down. If you put it on top of a green lipstick, then obviously it's going to be like popping, do you know what I mean? But I feel like the shimmer inside there is absolutely gorgeous. And it's kind of reminding me of the Pat McGrath lip glosses, which y'all know, those are like the most shimmery lip glosses. Like, they are just so shimmery. I absolutely love them. I do feel like it's not something that you're going to be wearing on an everyday basis, but maybe when you go out, because they are like really, really glittery. However, these ones right here look like a little bit more of a toned down version of them, but my number one favorite is the Biolume Glow. And once again, that retails for $9, and that is vegan. My second favorite shade is Illuminate, which is the green one, and then my third favorite is the Shimmering Waters. But I actually think they're all beautiful, and for $9, not too bad of a price point. On trend here with NYX, everything is pretty affordable, but then when we get into the palette, which we'll probably get into lastly, I was like, why is this palette $40? Like, I don't know, maybe I haven't purchased from NYX in a long time, but I remember when I was very first starting out with makeup, y'all, this is like when NYX was not popular whatsoever. I used to get palettes from them for like $6, you know, so I'm like, damn, are their prices up that much? Or do they have to pay so much like in commission or royalties to use the Avatar name and logo and all that good stuff? So moving into the next thing right here, we have the Biolume sticks. Now, Trend Mood also swatched these as well too, and I want to say I think they're absolutely gorgeous, but you guys know how I feel about a cream highlight. I just do not know what it is about my skin's pH balance or like what's going on with it, y'all. I have done microneedling, I've done IPLs, I do glycolic pills. Like, I don't understand why for some reason I literally cannot use a brush on my skin for, like, say for example, like a liquid foundation or a cream foundation. It just skips and pills and looks separated and patchy. And I saw a guy before who's like a chemist talk about it's probably your skin's pH balance, and y'all, like, I tried everything. I use all type of like pH balancing stuff, and my skin just still messes up, and it's really frustrating. And that's part of the reason why I can't really use a cream highlighter. I do not know why. For some reason it just pills off, so that's why every single time I use a highlight, it's always going to be a powder. But these shades right here are absolutely beautiful. The shade Seagrass, I feel like, is so gorgeous. It is obviously like a little bit more of an intense, vibrant, not everyday type of shade, but it is just so gorgeous. But I feel like you could probably use it as an eyeshadow. Once again, by the way, all these products do say that they are vegan. I don't know if that necessarily means that you could use them on their eye, but I feel like a lot of stuff really is eye safe, especially when it says vegan. Anyways, and then the shade right here, the shade Sunrise Banshee Ride, y'all, that's a long name. Which, by the way, if you guys have watched my recent videos on my, well, not my recent videos. Actually, I did that like 2 months ago now. But y'all, please tell me why. I went to Animal Kingdom on my second channel. You guys can go check it out. And I was like, okay, I've been there before. That was my second time. And like, y'all, me being such a huge Avatar fan and like just looking at Pandora as a whole, right? You could do so much with that. And I feel like Disney really let me down. I feel like the Screaming Banshee ride there is just, I don't know, it's kind of boring. I mean, it's cute, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like when you compare Universal Studios to Hollywood, what? Universal Studios to Disneyland, it's like, why does Universal's rides, like, I don't know, they're way more immersive, way more fun. And then I just feel like Disney's is kind of, it's a little bit boring. Anyways, that Banshee just reminded me of that ride. And then we have the pink shade, which is called Coral Reef. Once again, I feel like these are all beautiful. They are $15, but it's not a product that I will be using because my skin is just so jacked up and I wish that it wasn't, but it is. And I really have tried everything. You know what? One thing was helping me. I think I had mentioned it before on the channel, the Joa, what's it called? Healed Me pads from Walgreens. They're like $12.99 for 50 of them. I really, really like those pads. And I noticed at first that I could put foundation on with a brush, and then that went away. Like literally, I want to say for like 2 weeks, I was like so shook, y'all. I was literally telling my friends like, oh my gosh, I feel like this is finally working. I finally found a product that's working. If you look at the back of the product, it says skin pH balancing, and I really do feel like I could like use that. And then I don't know where my skin just went back to normal, and I'm like, yep, nope, I cannot use a brush. Anyways, moving on here, we're going to be talking about the paper lipsticks. I'm just a little bit confused about these. I don't know why they're called like paper lipsticks. It says limited edition all day matte paper lipsticks inspired by, oh my gosh, my website just glitched. I'm so sorry. Inspired by Avatar, The Way of Water. I don't know why for some reason the background of this, the triangle, is just throwing me off. I do not know why. But these are the two shades right here. I do not at all like the shade Ronell. It just reminds me, I'm probably saying that wrong, I apologize. It reminds me of like Candy Yum Yum from MAC, and y'all, I hated that shade. I hated that shade so freaking much. But the shade Natiri is really, really beautiful, and I really do like that. And I feel like the packaging is really cute too. Like I like how it has the silhouette of the Avatar on there, and then it has the Avatar logo. Like the packaging is really cute, and these retail for $10.50. Once again, not too bad of a price right there. I'll be honest with you guys, I have never tried NYX's regular lipsticks. I want to say I've only tried their liquid lipsticks, but I've never tried their regular lipsticks, so I don't know how the quality is on those. But for $10.50, it's really not too bad. And then we have a facial mist right here, which I am not going to be able to pronounce this name whatsoever. Like, this is a hard one, y'all. But Metcaina, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Metcaina Mist, which is limited edition, ultra hydrating makeup setting spray inspired by Avatar: The Way of Water. This retails for $15. You know what? Because at the time of me doing this, there's no details, but if I scroll down, there are. So this is what it says right here. So just that way you guys can know what the point of this is. It says cool off with a refreshing spritz of the Avatar Metcaina Mist inspired by Pandora's underwater world, perfect for ultra hydrated skin that locks makeup in place all day with marine infused ingredients made with recycled PCR packaging, limited edition. So yeah, that retails for $15 right there. I do feel like that is a little bit pricey, but y'all, I've said this before. I feel like I said this in like Jeffree Star's video. Why is it that like facial mists are like really expensive these days? I'm like, why can't you get like a $10 one or like a $5 one? You know, I feel like Elf is the only one that has like really affordable stuff, and I'm like, every single face mist, I'm like, y'all, they're pretty pricey. I need to find like a good one, because y'all, I use so much setting spray, or so much, I would call it kind of like, I don't really use it as like a setting spray, but I kind of use it as just like a facial mist, because I do on an everyday basis. Say for example, if I'm going to be running to like, I don't know, Target or Walmart or whatever, just around town, I do throw on a little bit of powder, but then obviously my skin looks dry with that. So I like to put on kind of like a hydrating mist, you know? So I want something that I can use every day that's affordable, because say for example, if I were to use like the Too Faced Hangover, like y'all, I'm not going to use that every single day. It's just way too expensive. So I'm like, I need something that's affordable, that like works, you know what I mean? To make my skin look like skin when I'm going to be wearing powder. And y'all, maybe I'm just really cheap, but $15 is kind of pricey to me. Obviously that's way better than Too Faced, for example. Too Faced is like $34. That's like way big of a difference. But I wait till the I don't know if I told you guys recently, I just got the Too Faced Hangover spray for $18 at the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I got 2 of them when they were on sale, so I'm like, you know what, let me go ahead and wait for that. Anyways, moving on right here, we have the Navi paint, which is just a blue paint right here, which I want to say, being that this collection is obviously coming out closer to the release of Avatar 2, I get that it makes sense, but I feel like this would have been much better if this came out during Halloween, because, like, what are you going to do with this in December? Do you know what I mean? Like, who's painting their face blue in December? I guess maybe, like, the diehard fans that, like, go to the movie dressed up, like, I've seen that before. Maybe they'll be using this. But yeah, this retails for $15, and it's a face and body paint. That's definitely something that I would just never really use. Anyways, and then we have this little palette right here, which is a 6-pan palette. Before we get into the big daddy, the expensive one, this retails for $25. And honestly, y'all, I feel like the packaging of this, it's like, it's cool, but it's very just like generic and kind of a little bit boring, you know? I do feel like the outside of the other palette is really pretty. Also, on top of that too, this 6-pan eyeshadow palette right here, the two shades in the center, I feel like are really pretty, especially the purple one, the like lavender one. But the rest of the shades, they just, I don't know. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be able to make like good looks with this. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like the colors are not really cohesive. They don't really make sense. That mustard shade, y'all know, I absolutely love like a mustardy yellow shade, but I just feel like it doesn't go with this palette. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna mix that with any of the other colors on there. I mean, I could probably mix it with that burgundy shade right there to make like a sunrise type of look, but then what's that gonna go with? You know what I mean? So I don't really like this palette right here. This one does retail for $25, and that is once again a 6-pan eyeshadow palette. Now, obviously, I know that's not too bad of a price. Obviously, we were just recently talking about like Lisa Eldridge palettes. I believe those were like 6-pan eyeshadows, and they're like, I forget exactly how much they were, but they were expensive. But I get like this is a little bit more affordable, but that's still kind of expensive for NYX. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm like, damn, that's a little bit pricey. But then once again, we do have to obviously keep in mind, maybe they have to pay like Disney or like James Cameron, like some type of licensing fee that probably made them have to, you know, charge a little bit more for this palette right here. Now let's go ahead and get into the big 24-pan vegan palette, y'all. So this says, with satin, matte, and metallic finishes inspired by Avatar. I want to say the outside of this palette is really cool. I do like the concept that you have the whole Avatar eyes, and being that it is an eyeshadow palette, I feel like this is actually really cute, and I actually really do like it. Getting into the color story at first, when I was first looking at this, just from like pictures from the actual NYX website, this is what I'm telling you guys. I am now beginning to realize like I absolutely hate pictures from the website. I think we've talked about this several times on my channel. I feel like what really sparked it within me was the whole Lunar Beauty Outer Dimension face palette. Like, seeing those pictures online, I'm like, oh my gosh, it does it absolutely no justice whatsoever. But when you see people's posts from their stories, or when you see people's posts on their actual Instagram just from their phone underneath regular lighting, then you get a better idea of what the palette looks like. And that's what I feel about this, because when I was looking at this palette right here, I was like, on NYX.com, I was like, I don't like it. I really don't. But I was like, let me go back to Trend Mood and see if she posted anything. And she did post a video about it. And I actually do think the color story is really beautiful. The colors look way more vibrant. They look way more intense. And honestly, like, looking at her swatches of it, I was like, okay, this is actually a really pretty palette. You have some earth tones in there, you have some blues, you have some pinks, and then you obviously have some neutrals so you can mix with it. You guys know, recently talking about the psychedelic circus collection, every single time I go to say that, I want to say psychedelic first. Every single time I talk about that palette, I'm just like, it's just way too much for me because there's no neutrals mixed in with this. Well, with this palette right here, I feel like you have gorgeous pops of colors, and then you do have some neutrals to obviously like water that down with. You know what I mean? The shade like Turuk, I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm so sorry, y'all. These words are hard to say. And then the shade Eclipse, I feel like you can mix those with any colors inside the palettes right here, and I feel like they're actually really beautiful. And then looking at her swatches too, I want to say for NYX, maybe they stepped up their quality, but underneath these swatches right here, I'm like, y'all, the shimmers look absolutely beautiful to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't obviously look as shimmery as like a Pat McGrath, but obviously this is nowhere near Pat McGrath pricing, but they really do look beautiful. And I'm like, you know what, I actually kind of like this palette. I love that you have purples in there, you have blues, and then you have your earthy tones. And on top of that, speaking of the earthy tones, this shade right here, this like light green, it's called Under the Fractal Reef. I feel like that shade is just so beautiful. And the shade Viper Wolf Eyes, I love those two shades right there. Like, those shades are absolutely gorgeous. And I actually do like this palette. I will say though, the shape of everything, I understand they're going for something a little bit more different, being that this is like, you know, an extraterrestrial alien type of thing. That's what avatars are. I kind of don't like the whole shape of everything, and how you have half a palette here, or half an eyeshadow here mixed with another half an eyeshadow, and then you have little circles, and you have big circles, and then you have like crescent moon shaped ones. Like, it's a whole lot going on. So somebody like me, I do get a little bit ADD looking at the palette. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like so many different shapes going on within this palette, and I do feel like it is a little bit overwhelming when you look at it. But if you actually break down the colors and look at the swatches, it's like, okay, this is actually a really pretty palette. But I don't know if I'd be spending $40 on this. Like, honestly, I do feel like this day and age, everything now, and I feel like we talk about this often on my channel, everything that you see and you may like, give it a couple weeks and it's gonna go on sale. I feel like every single product that I talk about, I'll end up, say for example, I'll film my video like a week in advance, and by the time I upload it, I'm like, oh, it's already on sale. Like, every product is immediately going on sale. And I feel like this is going to be another product right here that you will see down the line that's going to be 30% off, or like 20% off, something like that. And maybe in the future, probably even 50% off. And honestly, if this palette was 20 bucks, I actually think I would get it, to be honest with you guys. The actual component itself, I feel like it's cute, but it's not like, oh my god, like I need to have it. It's not some type of like collector's piece, but it is cute, obviously, because it is in the shape of the avatar's eyes. But the actual color story, to me, I actually like it. And if this was 20 bucks, I would definitely buy it, which I know $20 is asking a whole lot for a 40 pan eyeshadow palette, but, or 24 pan eyeshadow palette. Did I say 40 pan earlier instead of $40? Sorry if I said that. But I do want to say this, it's not even full 24 pan. Like, if you look at it, it's like some shades are obviously half the size than others, you know? So I don't really know. Anyways, y'all, moving on, there is a bundle on here just in case you guys are curious about getting this whole entire collection. They have the Avatar The Way of the Water collection set, which is the full collection for $120, which I feel like is not too bad of a price if you like every single one of the products. To be honest with you guys, like, the main things that I like are the lip glosses. I feel like the lip glosses are absolutely gorgeous, and I really do. I'm surprised that I like that eyeshadow palette. You guys know recently, like, y'all, on all my anti-hauls, I'm like just so over palettes, but I feel like this is actually a really beautiful color story. When I look at the swatches, I'm telling you guys, like, looking just straight at the palette, like, I do get a little bit overwhelmed, but then seeing the swatches, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, you could pretty much get away with like so many different types of looks with this palette because there's just so much diversity within it. But anyways, yeah, so if anyways, yeah. I'm about to say anyways, y'all. That wraps it up for this video. If I had to purchase anything from the palette, it would probably be those 3 lip glosses. Why did I say any? I swear recently I have been editing my videos and I'm like, what goes on with my brain? If I had to purchase anything from this collection, it would be the palette. I said if I had to purchase anything from this palette. Anyways, if I had to purchase anything from this collection, I would definitely get the palette and the 3 lip glosses. I feel like those are really, really beautiful. I probably will end up picking up that purple shade of lip gloss only because I think it is absolutely gorgeous and I really do like it. And especially because it's only $9, but $40 is a little bit out of my budget around the holidays, y'all. But if this does go on sale, I actually really do think I would pick it up, like, for sure, because I really do like the color story. So that wraps it up for this video. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.